Welcome, one and all, to the Golden Jubilee celebrations of Venugopal and Chennai Association Day. It is said, well begun is half done. Venugopal and Chennai have done very well to associate with each other on August 10, 1964, and made August 10, 2014 a special day for everyone who are part of the family to cherish this momentous day. A small effort is made through this Memoirs to have a glimpse of how the journey of Venugopal and Chennai began and the experiences shared by some of the members. Sri P. Venugopal and Sri Navazur Chennai are the founder partners of Mrs. Venugopal and Chennai. It will be appropriate to hear from Sri Chennai how Venugopal and Chennai know each other.
We have both articles with Nataraja and company. Actually, what had happened then was, 50 years ago I was a very angry person. So what happened one day is, when I had a motorcycle, a Royal Enfield, 5 horsepower, and drive like crazy. In Nataraja and company, there was another student called Dilip Singh Agarwal. Agarwal and company, wine merchants, nephew or somebody. He asked me for a lift. So we both went up, and in the tank bund, in those days there was no traffic at all. And I was hammering away at 60 to 80 miles an hour. In the middle of the tank bund, I heard a slump. His body fell over my body, and I thought he had died. I was so frightened. I stopped the bike immediately, and I couldn't even take his body out of my body because I didn't know how to bring it down. And a little gentleman was passing by, I asked his help. So with that we put him on the ground, and then I was an NCC student, so I gave him artificial respiration treatment which they had taught us. Praying aloud to God, for God's sake don't get me involved into this problem. He revived somehow or the other. Instead of helping him out, I hit him on his back and told him, you walk to Nataraja and company, or this is a 10 rupee note, you take an auto and go. I was so frightened when I went to the office, Nataraja and company. The first person I met was Mr. Venugopal, and I blurted and narrated the whole thing. He was also very worried. But later on he came and sorted out things, everything was over. I don't know whether that impressed Venugopal or not, but he started asking me questions, and at the time he was staying in Hanuman Tekki building, room something, and that's how we got to know each other.
Sri P. Venugopal, born in 1932 from a middle-class background, graduated B.Com in the year 1952 from Nizam College, completed LLB in the year 1955 from Osmania University, and worked with Income Tax Department during 1955 to 56. He was articled with Mrs. Nataraj Iyer & Co. and became a qualified chartered accountant in the year 1959. Sri Venugopal was actively participating in the institute activities, and during 1970-71 was treasurer of Hyderabad branch of ICAI and elected as member of Southern India Regional Council of ICAI, Chennai, for 1970-73. He was elected as the member of Central Council of ICAI, New Delhi, during 1973. How did his professional career take off in the words of Sri Navazur Chennai?
Oh, went like a blazer. He was a true professional. Went like a blazer. I think he was the first one to have students' conference in the city. He was a dedicated man, frightened also so many times. Naturally, when big things are there, you used to be frightened.
Sri Venugopal, along with Srimati Venugopal, attended conference of chartered accountants from Commonwealth countries in 1974, when they were formally introduced to the President of India, Sri Fakhruddin Ali Ahmad. Sri Venugopal was a well-known personality in the circles of chartered accountancy and used to give equal importance both to the profession as well as the institute activities. One of the experience of Sri Satyanarayana Murthy wants to share how committed Venugopal Garu was to the profession in his own words.
Mr. Venugopal used to take very, very keen interest in the professional matters relating to students, and then other social work also. In 75 November, there was 8th All India 8th Regional Conference. He attended. He took part in all the technical session. It was for 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, and then all technical sessions were looked after by Mr. Venugopal. And then on Sunday, by the conclusion of the conference, he was very tired. And then I went to him and I told him that the conference is over, I want to go. Then he said, will you come with me to the office? It was 4 o'clock in the evening. He said, today is Sunday, the office is closed. I said, no, I have got the keys, we'll go there. So we went there and he sat for 3 hours and did a beautiful documents relating to their dissolution and family settlement. That is how he used to work. Even Sundays he used to work in those days. And then even after a tiring 2-day conference, he had time to come back to the office and work on a document, important document, for 3 hours and then went home. That is how he used to work in those days.
Sri Navazur Shanai, born in an illustrious Parsi family at Secunderabad. Let us hear the educational background in his own words.
I schooled in Shivaji High School at Pune. The interesting situation was that our school anthem was Jana Gana Mana.
Okay.
That was before independence. Then graduated from Usmania University. Articles with Mutaja and Company.
Venugopal and Shanai was formally launched in 10th August 1964. The office was started in the premises adjacent to Sagar Talkies building in Abid Road.
In 1964, earlier to that I had passed CA and so many things happened, but it's not big. And I found that he met again, I think something. And we started in Sagar Talkies in 1964. What shall we name the firm? First was Venugopal Company. He already had a firm called Venugopal Company. Then I said, what will happen? Then when I came home, my parents suggested, why don't you have Chinoy and Venugopal? And so we alternated, and then I suggested, let's have it Venugopal and Chinoy. So he agreed. And we asked, she put up the notice for putting up for being on rent. The rent was 300 rupees a month. And 3 months rent she wanted, which Venugopal was against giving it. I said, let's give it and finish with it. He was apprehensive. 300 was very large sum in those days. That's how we started. Then we had this opening ceremony where it rained cats and dogs so bad. It was half our guests didn't turn up at least. But we started. We got our first audit. No, we were sitting one day. We had nothing to do. He used to do a little bit of work. And I used to be free. So I used to sit in front of him and then we both used to discuss. And then all of a sudden we got this communication that we appoint auditors for small scale industrial corporation. So at least I pretended to be very busy. So I became Mr. Venugopal's PA and kept on telling that lady who rang up that he is busy, he cannot be contacted immediately and that she'll have to wait. And she waited. Now she rang up again. I said, yes, please ring up after half an hour. All this I discussed with Venugopal. We had a laugh, but when the third time the ring came, he picked up and then we fixed it. That's all. Now, how to send somebody to do the audit? We got hold of somebody, I think a BCom student, and told him this is what it is. Please send him that to me. The first thing I asked him was, he said, they're very good, but I said, which year did you do the audit? He said, I didn't know anything about it. I said, what did you do? Something they call vouching. I really got worried. If this is the service we are providing, and Venugopal was furious. He asked me to kick him out. I said, I can kick him out, but you'll have to get somebody. I can't go for an audit. These are small instances.
Everything that a first for V&C, and the first telephone number was 43454, and the same number successfully completed 50 years of service to V&C, and presently is one of the 4 telephone numbers 24753454. The first employee to join the firm was Sri P.V.Ramana. The first article clerk underwent training was Sri Narasimhamurthy. The first government audit was Small Scale Industries Development Corporation. The first client was Mrs. Pramila Modi, and the first professional fee collected by the firm was rupees 1,000. Sri Narasimhamurthy, the first article clerk of V&C, wants to share his memoirs.
I will tell you one instance. One bank audit we have gone, bank inspection we have gone to Gulbarga. While I was still doing some savings bank's interest calculations or current account interest calculations, when Gopal has completed his part, simply he has gone to the hotel room and vacated his bag and baggage and cleared my bag and baggage also. And he has come to the office, Mr. Murthy, I have cleared the room. So from here directly we will go to the station.
Sri T.S. Suryanarayanamurthy was the first article clerk to get qualified from the firm. Let us hear from his experiences.
In fact, after qualifying my BCom degree, I came to Hyderabad to join in this profession. My brother taken me to a firm of chartered accountants known to them, and they asked a premium of 4,000 rupees at that time. But unfortunately, after 1 or 2 days, I had a tetanus attack and I was admitted in hospital, hospitalized for a long time, and it took me 4 months to come back to my normality. At that time, I have come into contact with Mr. Venugopal Garu through some of my relatives, and they requested him to provide me a vacancy, for which he immediately obliged without charging a single pie as a premium, though it was relevant in those years, charging of some premium 4,000 to 5,000 rupees in every firm. It's really, as a matter of principle, he has not taken it. And not only with me as a known person, but with any of the chartered accountants, I have not seen him taking a single premium from any other article also.
A photograph from archives taken in the year 1969 in the office premises located near Sagar Takis building, wherein we can see the partners along with the article clerks and staff, which include Sri T.D. Rajaya, Sri Prem Chand, Sri Nambudri, and Sri Sai. Sri Lakshmi Nivas Sharma was the first alumni to be elected to Central Council in the year 1985 after Sri Venugopal Garu. His experiences with Sri Venugopal Garu.
My father was knowing Mr. Venugopal since he was working in a Canara Bank, which was very opposite Natarajiyar's office at that time at Abbey Road. My father took me to Mr. Venugopal's house, which was at Hanuman Tekdi, and I was interviewed by Mr. Venugopal, wherein he of course asked me, are you doing CA with your own desire or force of your father? Of course I told that I am doing with my desire, but factual thing was that it was a desire of my father that he wanted me to do the CA. That way I joined, and another fortunate thing is that I joined the firm on 10th of August 1967, immediately after I completed my graduation. and that day happens to be office day of Venugopal and Chennai.
A photograph from archives taken in the year 1972, wherein we can see the partners along with the article clerks and staff, which include Sri Ramaraju, Sri P. Sriram, Sri Hemendra Shah, and try to identify our Bhaskar Rao Garu standing in the middle row. A photograph from archives taken in the year 1975, wherein we can see Sri Satyanarayana Murthy Garu, Sri Y.A.N. Murthy, Ramana Murthy, and Murali Krishna along with the partners and staff. A few memories from very fond student of Venugopal and Shranai, Sri Hemendra Shah.
This is a rare combination of God-gifted things where Mr. Venugopal was able to handle everything, including audits. So, in my opinion, what Mr. Venugopal and Chennai combination uninterrupted continued, and there was hardly, not even a single case where any chartered accountant left or resigned from this firm. I also recollect industrialist, big businessman used to get an appointment with Mr. Venugopal, and they used to sit in a visitor room for a very long time. They used to meet Venugopal Chennai even if it 4 hours, 5 hours late. So that was the demand of Mr. Venugopal those days.
Sri Satyanarayana Murthy wants to share his experiences in the firm.
Mr. Venugopal used to take active interest in the taxation matters and Mr. Chennai in the audit matters. And Mr. Ramdas joined in 74 October and I joined in 74 November. And then we had a great setback in 75 when we lost Mr. Venugopal and we were discussing. And then I told Mr. Chennai that I don't want to continue Venugopal and Chennai. I want him to get me relieved. Then he said, nothing doing, please continue. We'll make Venugopal and Chennai a success. And then he said he would take all criminal appeals in taxation, and then other work should be looked after by us. And he took very active interest afterwards, and all criminal matters he used to handle under the guidance of Mr. Ramdas, who was an expert in law.
As a tradition, Venugopal and Shranai started celebrating 10th August as Venugopal and Shranai Association Day by inviting all the past and present members of V&C for a picnic, the day for which all the alumni members look forward to celebrate with Sri Shranai Sahib. The journey of Venugopal and Shranai was successfully completed 25 years in the year 1989 and celebrated its silver jubilee in Hotel Rajdhani, Hyderabad. Contribution of Sri Ramdas and Sri A. Siva Prasad towards the growth of Venugopal and Shranai is unforgettable. The family of Venugopal and Shranai always feel the absence of the partners who are not amidst us today. As the saying goes, honesty is the first chapter of the Book of Wisdom. The founding partners have paved the path of honesty and sincerity, which brought a goodwill in the society, and the present partners continuing the legacy. Sri Bhaskar Rao is the senior-most employee working in the organization after Sri Navazor Shranai, and it is pertinent to mention the support of Sudarshan, Kutumbarao, and Misaya, whose contribution from the times Sri Venugopal cannot be expressed in words. Andhra Pradesh Tax Bar Association and Hyderabad branch of Chartered Accountants organized Venugopal Memorial Lecture, which was delivered by Justice Y.V. Anjaneyulu. Sri Navazor Shranai has been felicitated by the Hyderabad branch of SIRC for completing 50 years in profession. Lakshmi Nivas Sharma Foundation has felicitated Sri Navazor Shenoy and all the other partners for Venugopal and Shenoy completing 50 years. Lastly, and the legacy, which is the values demonstrated by the founder, continues, not the least.